Hello and welcome back to Jarvis Johnson Gold, the premium channel that is free. It is free, but if you're watching this, you're premium. And I'm accosting you at your place of work. Maybe I'm accompanying you at your place of work while you do something else. I don't mind it. In fact, I consider it one of the highest forms of flattery. Remember Target Girl? Remember that girl who would pretend to work at Target?
I was doing such a good job that customers started asking for my help.
Yeah, can you tell me the price on this?
I don't know, I don't work here, I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you worked here.
And then people would be like, I wish everybody who worked at Target was like you, but she was the one making tens of thousands of dollars, presumably, off of brand deals, and other people have to work their normal ass 9 to 5 for a pittance in comparison. Well, she's still making content, and I try to give the benefit of the doubt when I made that original video, because I was like, maybe she's just not aware of the impact of her actions and how it could be perceived. And now I have changed my tune. This to me is just prank content, and we all know how I feel about prank content. Creator Ugg Madison, 422,000 followers. This video has 300,000 likes. Seeing how long it takes to get kicked out of the buffet. Frowny face. Did I get my $12?
The more I ate, the more I understood why they don't have customers. The buffet was kind of nasty. Some of the food was a little questionable. I decided to look them up online, and I found out they have a ton of health code.
You had been there eating their food for a while and you just looked them up after consuming a lot of the after consuming multiple plates of food. Maybe that's the old head in me now. My birthday was recently. Maybe I'm unk, but I look up places before I go to them is a thing about me. I decided to look them up online, and then shows an image of handwritten signs that say, look at buffet first before paying, no refunds. Is this a front for something? It doesn't seem like they want to be in business.
They have a ton of health code violations. Some of the dishes didn't get washed at all. They put raw chicken in a cardboard box. But I think the health department is just being a hater.
I'm so confused on which side she's on. The health code people, the inspectors, health inspectors, they're just haters about the not washing dishes and stuff.
Nothing will stop me from getting my money's worth. I've been at the buffet for a very long time, and the workers haven't said a single word to me. I just assume they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. Have you seen the signs? It's like pretty clear that they don't. Would you? Most people are just working to make ends meet. Why would they care? They already cooked the food. It just has to sit there all day. I also don't think that staying at a buffet, I mean, I'm clearly wrong because this video did well, but I don't think that staying at a buffet all day is a particularly interesting accomplishment. Is it an accomplishment when I stay at a not all you can eat cafe and work on my laptop there? Can you believe they let me hang out there for most of the day? It was crazy. No one even talked to me. Maybe I'm being salty. Maybe I'm just being a hater like those friggin' health inspectors.
They probably throw a lot of food away. They might as well let me eat it.
They might as well let me eat it. It's an all you can eat buffet. I'm not like doing you a favor. I'm perplexed, okay? Maybe this is just, I'm coming in hot because I haven't been acclimated. It's like the air in Denver, you know? I haven't been acclimated to the altitude of Ugg Madison's content. So I'm just coming in with the outrage, but I've got to settle in. I've got to get my my sea legs about me, which is a health condition you get when you eat this food.
What time go home? You tell me 7 o'clock, 7 hours.
She asked me what time I'm going home, and she looked very angry at me, and I was just embarrassed.
She looks very angry at me is a large claim when you're, I'm glad she actually did not capture this woman with her camera and instead was shooting her feet. But we heard what she said. She said, what time are you going home? You've been here for 7 hours. I think that's more a call for concern. She's like, don't you have like a life to live? Are you doing some sort of TikTok challenge where you stay at a buffet for as long as possible? I'm worried about you. Have you seen our food?
Is there a time limit on it? Oh, nothing.
Sorry, now I'm coming.
Okay. She made it very obvious that she is annoyed at me and she does not want me eating there anymore.
Okay, I think she might be exaggerating a little bit, but you know, not my story to tell.
Hurt my feelings, but I remember what my fortune cookie taught me. Kindness is the antidote to negativity.
I don't even think she's being negative. I feel like this is like manufacturing a villain for the story because it needs to have an arc.
So I went back to the buffet and I gave her $100 tip.
For your tip.
No, it's for you, just for you. You're my best friend. No. Then I tipped the other workers. Yeah.
Everyone's being so polite, and they're even saying this $100 tip is too much. So her game is, it doesn't matter that I'm being annoying because I paid you $100, which is like, to me, it feels like how much does it cost to clear my conscience type money, because it's still a part of your content, you know? I don't know. It's fine. I'm glad you're compensating them in some way for the emotional damage of having you hang out filming all day, but still feels like annoying workers to me. But gonna step back, keep an open mind of being a hater. Let's see what else we got here. But before we get into that, we have a brief word from today's sponsor, Midas Merge. When I want to relax after a long day of chopping logs off of the YouTube tree, I sit back and relax and cultivate a beautiful garden in Midas Merge. These cute little creatures help me harvest fruit, clean up my garden, and bring light to a dark land. My favorite creature is the majestic jewel fawn. I named this one Peanut. And over the weekend of May 26th, you can access the Haunted Gardens. You'll uncover rare, spooky items and unlock the cutest and scariest Halloween creatures to take back to your Sapphire Sanctuary. Midas Merge is completely free to download and perfect for offline play, so if you're looking to take a little break from the internet for a while, you can live amongst the enchanting gardens of gold. It's also an ad-free experience with no dead ends, ensuring you're always merging and exploring without interruption. Be among the first 100 people to install the game from either this QR code on screen or the link in the description to get a unique black cat from the Haunted Gardens. This ultra rare feline friend boosts your garden's progress and will be personalized with my name. Don't miss out and download now. Ooh, Peanut's level 3. Thanks to Midas Merge for sponsoring this video. Now back to the video.
I got to spend 7 hours and 40 minutes at the buffet. I think I got my money's worth. Let me know what you think.
I'm having trouble framing this, okay? I'll be honest. But I have a little bit of an issue with, like, you're not allowed to be upset with me. I'm paying you money. The fact that money evaporates the problem, it a little bit feels like they're being paid off because, first of all, this is content and she's making money off of it. But also, like, you're my little court jesters and I'm paying you off because your discomfort was my content. It doesn't feel like it's goodwill because it's on camera, you know? I don't brag about how much I tip because I'm not filming it. Because I'm not filming it, I tip so much, it's crazy. They're always like, whoa, that's so much, that's too much money. Mr. Moneybags, you don't gotta tip that much. And I say, hey, it's on the house. Because that's 6-1, by the way. Giving $100 to someone who is rude to you is the most powerful move. 5,000 likes, really? I kind of disagree. The premise being that, like, Mr. Moneybags is all powerful and they've exerted their power because they were mildly short with you. And there's clearly a language barrier. It did not seem like this woman was being mean. The tone seemed to me very similar to when she received the $100 to when she was saying, hey, so what's the deal? You've been here for 7 hours. The reason she's rude or negative is because it's the editorializing in the story of this TikTok. I don't know that that's actually what went down, because if she said that she was nice, we didn't see the face, we didn't see the expression, we just heard the words, and I couldn't place negativity on those words. Again, to me, it's like, what's the deal? Which is a normal thing to ask when someone is doing something very unusual in your place of work, where you spend a lot of your time. It's easy to notice when someone's doing something that you don't see very often. I know she felt bad for that after. I hope she didn't. If I am annoying to you, me giving you $100 doesn't make me not annoying. These people are at their jobs. I don't understand why people... It's maybe just a thing that happens in the service industry where, like, when I go to a dining establishment, I need to be treated like like a little prince. And if I'm not waited on hand and foot and pampered and I get anything that is challenging to me whatsoever, like someone being like, hey, what's the deal? You've been here for 8 hours, then they're mean and they're negative, and I need to kind of destroy them in the marketplace of ideas. I need to make them feel bad for treating me this way. Again, the way that they treated me was being mildly concerned. And it's like, they didn't know who they were dealing with. You guys know who I am? I'm the TikToker who bothers people a little bit. And I've got 2 crisp Benjamins, okay? So I bet you egg on your face. I don't know. It just doesn't land for me. But I'm in the minority, it seems. Not to mention, I don't know what state this is in. It's a private business, one is to assume. You're filming and making content without permission. Despite the fact that you're not putting the camera in their face, you're still recording them. Their voices are on camera, right? You're getting their reaction. I don't know that you're getting their consent after the fact. And if people understood what was in it for you, because people are at their jobs expecting the normal interactions that they have with people who aren't doing a TikTok, you'll always notice that when people realize that a TikTok is happening, they change because they were operating under the assumption that we were in a normal society, and instead we were on the internet and we were actually on a stage. And yes, you change your perspective when you're on a stage. So much of this candid camera shit, like, revolves around someone not knowing they're being filmed, and that always feels icky to me. I love that you always tip the workers. Are we this simple as a society that, like, you can do anything you want as long as you go, I made it, but I made it okay with money? It feels manipulative, lowercase m, you know? Exploitative in the content, lowercase e, let's say, and then you absolve everything by passing them a little bit of cash, knowing full well that you're making more cash. Otherwise, it would be profitable to you to continue doing this. And it just doesn't sit right with me, but I feel old and out of touch. Or maybe I'm on point and these people don't have as much like experience out in the world. But it seems like everybody's like, oh, you tipped, that's amazing. And I'm like, okay, cool. At least they're getting something, but you're getting more. So I'm like, I'm not gonna give you the Nobel Peace Prize. It reminds me of the clean girl comments. Everybody's like, oh my God, you cleaned their grave, and then didn't give any thought to anything else. Usually I'm like, they just must not be thinking about this very hard, because why would they? It's on TikTok and they'll forget it as soon as they've seen it. And I'm just gonna shut up and go to the next video. My first and last day going to Harvard. See how long it takes to get kicked out of Harvard University.
I'm gonna find out if I can spend the entire day going to school at Harvard for free.
So this is like trespassing, right? There's like some laws this is breaking for sure. Because you can like get permission to like audit classes and stuff without attending, but there's like a process for it. And I don't think anybody can just walk up and start going to class. But I guess that's what her thing is, right? She goes to Target and pretends to work there. So this is on brand.
I'm gonna find out if I can spend the entire day going to school at Harvard for free.
My guess is like probably, right? Because why would anyone think you're not a student? You like look like one. I mean, to say you look like a Harvard student is maybe a compliment. All content like this, and I'm putting this in it neighbors prank content, if it is not exactly prank content, it abuses goodwill. Most people want to assume that everyone else is being normal and cool and has the best of intentions. And when someone decides to exploit that, it takes a moment because you don't want to assume the worst of someone. And I guess in this example, the worst is going to some boring ass lectures. So I go off, I guess.
Classroom I went in was empty. I was so sad.
The first class she went to was empty because she didn't look at a schedule or anything. I shouldn't be giving her tips. But if I were to go to the 50-minute mark of the hour, sit outside, wait for classes to let out, and follow a group of students and see where they go, or see where they're coming out of, because usually another class will start in the same place. It's pretty easy to find an ongoing class at a university. But I do feel like she just walked into an empty lecture hall because it would be good for the video, which is, again, it starts to get meta, but it's like this only exists because it's a better, it's like feeds the story, right? I don't think that you couldn't find a class with people in it.
I decided to eat at the Harvard dining hall to cheer myself up, but eating here made me feel even worse.
Look, Harvard has billions of dollars in their endowment, whatever. Extremely powerful institution, whatever. No need to defend them. It really only gets my goat when like individual people who are not paid enough are impacted by this.
They have the worst dining hall I've ever seen. All they have is chicken, a salad bar, and off-brand cereal from Walmart.
All they have is a little reductive, because I'm sorry, this isn't a 5-star kitchen. Doesn't really hit as hard when you just ate at the health inspection failing moldy buffet that the food is bad here at Harvard, because it doesn't seem like your standards were high before. But also, hello, welcome to college. Dining room food is ass. Always has been. What do you expect? Yeah, it costs a fuckload to go to Harvard or to go to any private institution. And like I said, they have $1 million bajillion dollars in their endowment, so whatever. They do have a lot of need-based scholarships for families that otherwise couldn't afford to go there. So there's that. This isn't always what people are paying. But most importantly, this isn't how much the food costs. At a lot of colleges, the meal plan isn't a required thing that you need to get, or sometimes, you know, like at my college, you were on a meal plan for maybe the first year, and then you weren't required to be on one. So this doesn't even usually factor into it might not even factor in if the meal plan isn't something you want. Whatever, why am I defending Harvard? It's just because I hate a bad argument when I see one, okay? I apologize. Again, another empty place, by the way. So it doesn't seem like a lot of people are enjoying the food either, which is why they're not there.
After my horrible lunch, I had to get back to work. I still need to figure out where the heck are my classes at.
It almost feels like this is like an introvert prankster, because she seems to be avoiding places that people are on purpose. Is it a Saturday? Like, what is going on? I'm starting to develop a conspiracy theory that it's Saturday.
I couldn't find a single class going on at Harvard, but I did find the Harvard hockey game. They were going crazy. I was having so much fun, but I actually think I'm gonna drop out now. I'm proud to say I spent 12 hours going to Harvard.
Okay, I was curious about this, so I did a little bit of digging. This game was between Harvard and Colgate University. It occurred on November 15th, which was a Friday at 7 p.m. This was a Friday. It was the end of the week. I'm sure a lot of people are not on campus at the end of the week or don't get classes on Friday, and that's why no one was on campus. And if you're there at 7 p.m. on a Friday, obviously you're not going to be able to find any people on the college campus. They're not just walking around hanging out. They're like doing Friday stuff.
I got there at 11:50 and paid $20 for all-you-can-eat wings.
Seeing how long it takes to get kicked out of Buffalo Wild Wings all-you-can-eat chicken wings. These look horrible, by the way. I've been so disappointed by Buffalo Wild Wings because in my mind, and maybe it's the commercials, I think it's going to be so delicious. What the hell is happening here? All the seasoning is off the wing. It's a dry wing.
My waitress said the record is 28, but 28 is not a record.
28 wings. And these are like boneless. These are like basically nuggets.
I kept getting more refills.
My gosh, girl. This is definitely a record with me.
Right. She's like, I broke the record with specifically this employee. I'm going to be the craziest wing eater that this specific person has ever seen.
After 7 hours, my waitress told me her shift is ending soon.
Stay here. I can always just transfer.
It's the longest anyone has stayed.
You're the longest.
It appears that she had the same server for the duration of a 7-hour shift. At the end of her shift was still so upbeat. I have the utmost respect for that woman, just dealing in stride with this nonsense and staying super positive about it. She's not being paid enough for this. Let's just say that. Okay, so is this here specifically to trigger me? Is this like a lemon pepper wing that she's just doused in ketchup? Is that what's happening? Is this to make me mad? Certainly the comments won't mention this a single time.
My waitress was about to leave, so I gave her a tip.
This one
For your tip.
No, it's not. Really? Oh my gosh, you are so sweet.
This is like whatever to me, because it stayed within the normal confines of, if she'd have stayed in her booth for 7 hours, then why would they kick you out? You're just a regular patron. I was trying to think of like what's different between the buffet and this, and she sets expectations very early with the Buffalo Wild Wing server that she's going to try to break the record. Now they're engaged and they have a shared understanding. And also the type of service is different. You're not getting table service at an all-you-can-eat buffet. So the rapport that one builds is very different. Also, I think that due to maybe a language disconnect, there was a lot of characterizing this buffet employee or owner or something as being mean, when I don't have real reason to believe that was the case, whereas it's not happening here. So there's a lot, but this also doesn't really feel like a challenge. Even at the buffet, it's like, okay, you were at an all-you-can-eat buffet for a long time. You were at an all-you-can-eat thing for a long time.
I don't even know what to say.
Thank you.
Can I have you?
So this actually like succeeds, I think, in being sweet, but it's because the expectations were set early that she was going to be doing this little personal challenge. That server, who is customarily working for tips, there's a normal thing that happens when you give a tip. So it's like you give the expected tip, okay, cool. You give a big tip, oh my God, thank you. And this is just like a really big tip. But is it really that big when you've been there for 7 hours? But the fact that this goes to the server themselves, great. And that's awesome. We still don't know if she is filming it or not, but it just felt like there was a lot more communication that happened between Madison and the server here. So I don't know that the server is consenting to being filmed. It's not like her face is being shown. So it's still this like stealthy kind of, the camera's pointing in like a weird direction. We don't know if they got consent off camera. Like that's one of the things here. It's like, we don't know. And it serves her for us not to know, because it just helps for the weirdness and the the universe of the video. The waitresses were so nice, like truly refreshing. 94,000 likes. I don't like this culture of like, if the waitress is perceived anything other than the nicest ever, then everyone hates on them because like the job isn't like that, dude. They're not paying you enough for that. Seeing how long it takes to get kicked out of Mall of America. These are places that I just don't expect you to ever get kicked out of. In fact, has she gotten kicked out of a single place? She was asked how long she planned on staying, and then every other place she was never kicked out. She was kicked out when it closed. That happens to everyone who's in the restaurant when it closes. So I get it. It's like the framing of the video, but like I have yet to see a kick out, which is, I guess, in contrast to at Target when people had to get involved to remove her from the premises. So maybe this is an evolution in the positive direction. Eventually she'll start going to places for like a normal amount of time and making TikToks about being a regular person. What's up, guys? Today I'm walking into Chipotle and ordering my food for takeaway and leaving and going home and watching Netflix. And that's a 18% tip for you, good sir. Can I film your reaction? Say thank you.
I'm not leaving. I want to see how long I can stay.
But I'm not that always scares me. I do just the vibe, by the way, if this wasn't like a small white woman, I have to say it. There's something about me that I feel like if I, 6'1" by the way, were to hang out and loiter in locations for too long, I might not be given as much goodwill as to what I'm up to or ignored for as long. And I can't say that for sure, and I don't know that for sure, but it's just a feeling I get. Probably nothing.
At 9:30, they turned off the lights, but I was having so much fun walking around and playing on the escalators.
This is funny to me because I'm like, I don't believe you. Her character is always this like happy-go-lucky, I'm having the time of my life. And there's just not a single bone in my body that believes it. And I could be totally wrong. If you are having the time of your life wandering around an empty mall alone while they're trying to close up, go for it, I guess. I just don't believe it. But I think that's because of the darkness in my heart. And probably has nothing to do with the content itself.
Stay here forever. At 10 p.m., they shut off all the escalators.
So aggressive. At 10 p.m., they shut off all the escalators. I couldn't have fun. Look at how much fun I was having when I was going up the escalator the wrong way, which is, by the way, very dangerous. People can get seriously harmed on escalators. Yeah, be careful. Don't do this. I'm not your dad, but that's my advice.
So happy until I saw someone on the top floor staring at me.
This is what I would look like if I was hanging out in the Mall of America after hours. I would look menacing and scary. And that's just kind of the vibe I give off, as you all know from watching this channel. I'm kind of a menacing and scary dude.
But then I realized it's just a mannequin.
No comment.
I thought Mall of America would have really good security and they would kick me out fast, but they closed almost 3 hours ago and I've been wandering around and no one has said anything.
Okay, this is interesting. It's like, what is the message here? Wow, they have way worse security than you'd think, guys. Come on in. Let's go hang out at Mall of America. They don't even check. Security from what? All the places are individually locked. There's still cameras. I get it, but it's also such a big mall. Like, I can imagine someone slipping through the cracks, especially someone who appears unassuming. You see someone, you go, oh, they're probably on their way out. Why would this woman hang out here? And you can bet your sweet ass if they looked unhoused, they would get them out pronto, right? There's like certain prejudices that exist the way we look at people and assume. And when you assume, it makes an assume. Everyone knows the phrase. Security, I feel like, is going to respond when they perceive a threat. And this person is Manic Pixie Dream Girl, and she does not seem threatening from the outset. Little do they know she wields a dangerous tool, which is a TikTok account. That's not something that security can scan for. They're not the thought police.
2 different security guards, and they both just looked at me and didn't say anything.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Am I supposed to say that they should be fired? Am I supposed to say that that's bad? Probably. Maybe they should have said something, but I don't know if this is even true, right? Like, it's not like this part was filmed. And there's so much editorializing and fictionalizing of these stories that I can't believe everything she says. And maybe that's me. Maybe that's the darkness in my heart,
Didn't ask me who I am or why I'm here walking around, even though they closed 3 hours ago. They just looked at me and said nothing. I feel like I could easily stay until they open at 10 in the morning, but I also feel like that might be illegal, so I just...
It's illegal right now what you're doing. I feel like it's a character. It's like an ooh, I've never done anything wrong. I'm so cutesy wootsy. I'm having the time of my life. You know, like that's the character. That's probably illegal. Is something that like a children's character, I think, would say, because it's been illegal the whole time what you're doing. And that's fine. Who cares, right? Because we know she's not harming anyone and the law exists to like prevent harm. And so she's just like playing with the boundaries, right? Like it's a social experiment, you know, how do people react? And so it's like, whatever. But like, it's hard for me to believe that she doesn't know what she's doing now is trespassing and illegal. If she was accidentally inside of it when it closed is different than when she says, I'm going to stay here until someone kicks me out. That intent to be there when you know you're not supposed to implies that you know that you're doing something you're not supposed to do. So I'm like, which is it? Are you, ooh, I've never done anything wrong. How could I ever do something bad? I hope I don't break the law. That'd be not good. This is my Jennifer Coolidge impression. Oh, I got caught in the Mall of America. I hope this isn't illegal. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, man. They probably thought you were a retail employee. Right. Because people who look normal and don't look like security guards work at the stores. They're in the Mall of America. And why would security know everyone who works at every store in the Mall of America? Because all of them are different stores that have different wardrobes. Why am I raising my voice? I don't know. It's really just the principle of the thing. I think what's upsetting me is pretending that you don't know you're doing anything wrong, or being surprised that someone would think that you weren't up to any good, because the entire channel is based on the premise of you being in places where people don't assume the worst of you and taking advantage of that and making a TikTok where you like badmouth them, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, what is the point of any of this? Who is she going to find to give $100? How will she give away money to make everything okay? It's not okay until you pay someone off. The normal thing to do is to assume the thing that you've seen 1,000 times before, which is people leaving their shift late. It's not to assume that someone has now created content out of loitering. What is happening here? And pretending to be oblivious to this fact is, in my mind, intellectually dishonest, because I don't think this person is dumb. I don't at all. I think they're very intelligent. I think they've created a large platform for themselves, and I think that that's impressive. And so I have a personal gripe with pretending you don't know nothing when you do know something. Okay? Okay, bye.